Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's December 25th. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And we're starting off with the combination of Doppler radars because there is some light precipitation that could be falling as some freezing rain east of the Cascades. You can see all the winter weather advisories in the purple outline here and across the Cascades of Washington, Oregon as well. And we may continue this freezing rain threat across some of the Cascades, especially through the pass areas we go through tonight. Easterly flow kind of keeps that cold air trapped into those lower elevations. You can also see we've got rainfall warnings across Vancouver Island, so the Olympic Peninsula for the excessive rainfall outlook here as well. So let's just jump right into the infrared satellite imagery, and you see our storm, very strong low pressure center, but it is far enough away to spare us from a major windstorm here. And we've got another system out of the Pacific here that again will deepen off the coastline there and probably increase some of the east winds we're going to get across the region also. So just looking at the wind speeds currently, you can see some gusty winds across Whidbey Island, probably emerging across the San Juans here shortly, and off the coastline here. Check it out. Buoy 46041 gusting 47 miles per hour. Greenwater gusting 43, some gusty east winds also. You can see if we scroll down to the south, the Cosmos there, what's that? 42 miles per hour, the max gust so far this morning. And we're looking at the Doppler radar as it may look like here over the next day or two. And you can see that precipitation spreading over the area. Again, this could be a wintry mix east of the Cascades. So heads up if you have to travel or out and about here on Christmas Day. You can see the frontal system swinging through the Puget Sound and some of western Oregon, Vancouver Island as we go into the very early morning hours tomorrow. Maybe some blustery winds and heavy rain might wake a few people up there. And then you can see the next storm system as we roll on in through December 27th. It's going to be off the coastline, and we're going to kick up this easterly component again here as we go through the early morning hours of Wednesday. Now, taking a look at those winds, this is the NAM 3 cam, 80 meter wind speed, and this is about as we're speaking right now. And you can see these gusty winds out of the southeast and the gusty east winds, and on the coastlines here also. That continues through the day today. And you'll notice how that easterly component kind of hangs around as we go through the nighttime hours. That's going to keep that freezing rain threat going. And then we swing the frontal system here, and then we'll probably warm the passes up by the time we get towards tomorrow morning, at least enough to probably change all the areas to rain. But we keep some chilly air over the next few days. So I just want to point that out, that we do have that chance for some wintry precip here over the next few days as well, especially east of the mountains. Now, taking a look at the mean sea level pressure, you can see the strong storm off the coastline. Look at the big pressure difference. You're talking about 1045 low here versus 970 millibar low out there. So you're talking about 75 millibar difference. So it's going to bring the strong winds, but the low hangs off just far enough where it's not going to be a major windstorm. But as we go through the nighttime hours tonight, you can kind of see that little lobe swinging through here. So it's going to be blustery out there, especially again across Vancouver Island, straight at Georgia, northwest interior, and some of the coastal areas, and through some of the mountain passes there as well. And then our next system comes here and sets up shop a little bit further south off the coastline. That's going to enhance the east wind as we go on into December 27th. And then this next storm system off the coastline. And again, the pattern continues as these deep lows rotate kind of a fair distance offshore, trying to spread precipitation up over the area at times. Looking at the National Blend of models here, there's some pretty good run-to-run inconsistency between the NAM and the HRRR and the European on just how strong winds are going to be across the area. The NAM wants to bring some mid-40s across some of the southern Puget Sound here as well, but it's probably best to look at the National Blend of models and get more of an average. But you can see some of the strong winds, Vancouver Island, straight at Georgia, some of western BC, getting some gusty winds. Check out Bellingham getting up towards 48, maybe in a 50 mile per hour gust there for Skagit or Whatcom County, northwest interior, and some of the coastal areas also, and some gusty east winds ongoing. And then we go through the 27th, and we'll bring some additional gusty east winds as well. Now, taking a look at the wind advisories, you can see for the coastal areas, northwest interior, Skagit, Whatcom County, extreme western portions there, closer to the water. And there's actually even a high wind warning here out towards Long Beach and some of southwest Washington, northwest Oregon. As we scroll down towards Portland, Oregon, you can see we got the freezing rain threat. They do mention it there in the upper Hood River Valley. And you can see we got the high wind warning for some areas like Tillamook down here, maybe down towards Lincoln City. I can't tell if that immediately encompasses that area, but you can see the winter weather advisories as well out there. So watch out for that freezing rain. Hopefully everybody's in place so you can just enjoy your Christmas festivities without driving around in some of those hazardous freezing rain. This is looking at National Weather Service Seattle here, and you can see the bigger amounts across the Olympic Mountains here. And the model's downtrended a little bit here over the last couple of days with just how much is going to be getting in over the area, but still forecasting an inch to an inch and a half for Seattle. And then the snow levels will be rising, but there again, just got to point that out for like the third or fourth time, there is going to be that period where the winds remain east here at the surface, keeping that freezing rain threat going. Now looking at the NAM3 cam, you can see we've got rain, we've got freezing rain and snowfall. So you can see we get a couple inches for some of the Cascades, and there's that freezing rain threat here as we go on in through tonight. And it does include some portions of eastern Washington as well. So heads up, you guys, if you're out and about out there. And you can see some of the areas on towards the Washington, Oregon border and the gorge kind of highlighted here in this freezing rain threat. And this would be about tomorrow, 4 p.m. ending there. Now, taking a look at that wintry mix one more time here, Spokane National Weather Service, you can see pockets of freezing rain, including I-90 and Highway 2. So a heads up if you're out and about out there. Not talking about huge snowfall and precipitation and freezing rain amounts, but, it just takes a light glaze to really make things quite treacherous. And this is looking at another look at the freezing rain threat here. And you can kind of see it does kind of hit and miss here across eastern Oregon and eastern Washington. This is the NAM3 cam showing bigger amounts across some of the Cascades, but something similar there as well. Now, looking at the 2-meter temperature, I want to point this out for the next few days because you can see it's pretty chilly in eastern Washington. And as we go through the afternoon hours, you can see across some of the pass areas, not warming up too much. Right at the surface, you're going to keep things sub-freezing here. And that's going to be the hazards as we go through the next couple of days. In fact, I'm not sure if this is including Snoqualmie Pass exactly. I think it might be. So that doesn't look good for trying to warm things up too much here as we go through the next couple of days. And then that next storm system is going to be offshore here, kicking the east winds again. And you can see not much difference in the temperatures out there. So you be dealing with these treacherous conditions here over the next few days. But it looks like we finally start to warm things up a bit more on Wednesday east of the Cascades. But we'll revisit that tomorrow. Taking a look at the total snow Kuchera ratio on the European. And this will be about 10 o'clock tonight. You can see a couple inches, maybe if we're lucky, across some of the Washington Cascades, mainly north central, and better amounts across British Columbia here. And then the next storm system starts rolling in here and does bring a few more inches here, but not a major snowmaker here across the Cascades. Scroll out a little bit further, you can see maybe another inch or two as we go off in towards the end of the week. Looking at the GFS ensemble mean here. So there's Washington, there's Hawaii. This is our storm system as we go through the day today, swinging up, and then you can see the next one setting up the coastline here. And we're going to continue with some of these deeper low pressures off the coastline, but they might start even targeting California as we go on towards the end of the year. We'll see how this develops here over the next few days. Also, things can still change, but it might remain active down there as well. Now, taking a look here at total precipitation in inches on the National Blended Models, we scroll this across, and you can see Olympic Mountains, Vancouver Island, Western BC targeted. Some of the Cascades picking up decent amounts here. And this would be about 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we continue on. You can see the next storm start to arrive here. And as we go on into about the afternoon of the 28th, you can see what kind of precipitation we're expecting here, impacting all the way from the Bay Area up through Western BC. Lesser amounts east, but of course, chilly temperatures over there. Watch out for that glaze and those slick conditions. Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, check it out, about a half an inch with this system. The GFS actually shows about 1.2 inches, so there is some auto discrepancy. I'm probably going with the European as of right now. I'd be surprised that we see over an inch in a 24-hour period for Seattle. And this is the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook here, kind of targeting California a bit more, and a little bit of below average signal here emerging for the Pacific Northwest. I also want to point out there's some big winds causing some big waves out there. So as we go through the afternoon and nighttime hours tonight, you can see the wind and waves increase out there, and then we get some nice wave action here as we go on in through the 27th. This is looking at the evening hours, and by the time you get to the 28th, if you got the morning off there or the day off on the 28th, you can get out there, or you and the kids are on winter break, you can get out there and see some crazy wave action here, Vancouver Island, up and down the Washington, Oregon coastline towards California. And again, the big waves kind of continue off into the future there as well. We'll revisit that daily. And I also wanted to point this out as well, getting a little bit of chatter about the potential departure of El Nino. If we look now, you can see December, January, February, you can see is still that El Nino conditions. But as we go through February, March, April, May, June, July, check it out. That cold tongue starts reemerging here. We might be swinging back towards neutral or El Nino or La Nina conditions. So it might be kind of pretty typical. El Ninos, especially strong ones, they don't hang out for too long, although you can get them for more than just 1 year. You tend to not get the strong El Ninos lasting too long. You get that spike and then you drop back down, then you might bring it back up. But you tend to not get the really strong El Ninos back to back. However, La Ninas can hang out for a little bit longer here. Now, taking a look at the Canadian model, this is we're looking off into the next fall. Basically, you can see that La Nina emerging across that equatorial Pacific, which usually means more interesting weather here across the Pacific Northwest. So that's something to look forward to, and we'll continue to monitor that over the next few months. Also with the European, we're looking at here, December, and you can see we're up towards strong or maybe even historically strong El Nino, but then you can see the crash is coming as we start to move through the springtime upcoming into 2024. So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch here and break down as we go. But anyway, yeah, enjoy that weather out there. Hopefully you don't have to travel too much. Again, could be some dangerous conditions, especially Cascades east for the glaze of that freezing rain out there. A little bit of light snowfall occurring, and we're going to keep things chilly, so watch out for that. I am traveling to Hawaii today. I'll be out there for at least the next week, but I'm going to bring my setup out there. It's, and I'll be doing my daily briefings as normal, or at least that is the plan. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.